What's up, guys? Finally back again. I've been traveling and I'm actually now a remote software developer. So this is me coming to you from my mobile office. I'm here on the ground. I just have a laptop on top of my travel case for my technology. And I have a microphone here, and that's really all I need. So I'm going to start making a lot more videos. Now that I'm remote, I have a lot more free time to do this kind of thing. And it seems like the type of videos you guys like are more the ones where I just talk about the software industry, how to break in, how to get a job, instead of a long coding tutorial. I'll still do those coding tutorials, but for now I'm gonna do a few of these type of videos and try to answer some of your guys' questions that you had in comments on other videos. And then maybe I'll do more tutorials in the future. So today I had kind of an interesting idea of a topic. I think I want to talk about the most important 3 programming resources that I learned in my whole 2 years of coding. So if I could only choose 3 top resources that basically influenced me the most, then I would go with these 3. So I'm gonna give a little bit of variety. One of these is a course. One is an article that was a total game changer for me, and then the last one is actually a book. So you're getting a variety of different learning styles, and I'm kind of giving you my top of each. I also want to add that all 3 of these resources are going to be language agnostic. So if you're a Python developer, I think most of you guys are learning JavaScript, but none of these are focused specifically on JavaScript. They're more on general programming, getting a job, or just software engineering or computer science in general. All right, first is the best course I've ever taken by far. And it was actually the first programming resource I ever dove into at the beginning of my coding career, and it really hooked me in and got me interested in programming itself. And that course is Harvard CS50. It's a free course online on the EDX platform, so edx.com I think it is. You can just search for EDX Harvard CS50 and you get a full-length Harvard course for free, and it's all online. And I would even think that the online version is better because the video lectures are very well edited. Now, the best thing about this course is the professor, David Milan. This guy is a superstar, and he creates trailers to get you hyped up, and then his lecture style is just really engaging. So he'll have like an hour and a half lecture that'll go by like that because he gives a ton of examples and he illustrates in different ways the concepts very well. So you'll be learning about things like sorting, searching, and computer science fundamentals through this course. It gives you a rock-solid foundation for anything else you want to do. Now, the course is not all positive. You will learn the programming language C, which is, let's be honest, you're not going to use it if you're trying to become a web developer, which most self-taught people are going to go for first. So about 6 of the weeks are in a programming language you won't really use. So it's not quite as practical as another course you might take, but in the long term, the concepts that you will learn by writing these C programs will pay off if you're in it for the long haul of being a software engineer. The other thing about this course is, even though I tried to start with this, it was just way too hard, and I actually gave up for several months before coming back to it, because if you don't have a background in math or have at least been exposed to programming in the past, the concepts and what this course is really demanding of you is very high. So it could be useful to go somewhere else, get some context, and then come back. Don't feel discouraged if it feels too hard. It felt way too hard for me, but once you do some other stuff over here, maybe learn some JavaScript, and then come back to CS50, then you will eventually be able to do it, I promise. The next resource is the article, which is Hasib Qureshi's Guide to Breaking into the Tech Industry. If you haven't heard about this guy, he's a professional poker player turned bootcamp student turned software engineer who got offers from all the different tech companies in San Francisco. So he got about 8 different offers, and he went with one for Airbnb, which was about $240K compensation right outside of a boot camp. That's definitely not an average result you can expect to get. And in fact, I think he actually got hired at software engineer level 2, because after the boot camp, he continued to teach at the boot camp for a year. So he's not the typical boot camp graduate. His advice, though, is summarized in a very concise, straight to the point article. You guys know I love no BS, and this article is the epitome of that. It's just 100% value, and it's called The Guide to Breaking into the Tech Industry. Now, again, this is kind of overkill if you're trying to just get a entry-level software engineering job, because he goes into advanced data structures and recommends all these different things you should learn. He gives a bulleted list, and most of them you really don't need it. It's a little bit overkill, but at least being exposed to these concepts will put you on a higher level than most other self-taught people, and it just gives you that extra edge in interviews to really get you a lot closer to formal computer science graduates. The thing I like most about this article, though, is Hasib's tips for actually networking with the tech industry. Reaching out to people in your extended network, direct messaging people on LinkedIn, and trying to get advice and referrals is a super valuable strategy that can not only get you that first job, but help you build connections in the industry that you don't know how are going to pay off down the road. And this is super valuable too if you're just arriving to the city you're trying to get a job in. Just reaching out to people in the tech industry, I think, is good to make a name for yourself in your new city. This is actually one of the tricks I used to get a job at Uber. I cold messaged a bunch of people on LinkedIn. One guy responded and was willing to get coffee with me. I told him about the things I was studying as a result of this article, the advanced data structures, the practice problems I was doing, and he was really impressed, actually impressed enough to refer me to Uber, which eventually got me that job. If you're afraid of networking or having a hard time, I actually did get another job offer through just sending out applications, so don't be discouraged and feel like you need to get a referral, but it can definitely help you in certain situations. And if you know people like from your past who work at a tech company, you should definitely not hesitate to talk to them, because it won't hurt you. It'll only help you. The third and final resource is a book called The Structure and Interpretation of Computer Programs. This book is a canonical tome in the computer science world. A lot of people don't think you're a real programmer until you read this, and it is one of the most, if not the most difficult books I've ever read. So be careful with this one. Disclaimer, this is not for beginners. I actually read this one after I got my first job, and I think that's a good time to do it. Get your foot in the door as a front-end developer or similar, and then you'll have time to master the programming fundamental concepts over time once you get in. And a great way to do that is by reading this book. Now, to give a little background, this book was written by 2 guys at MIT professors, and this used to be the old textbook for the MIT CS 101 class, but it's since changed to Python and been updated in that time period. But yeah, this is kind of an old book. All the principles still stand true though, and the language used in the book is Lisp, which is a functional programming language. Why would you learn Lisp though? That seems like a total waste of time. Lisp is really a language that makes programming concepts into building blocks. So the way you construct the language is by a very unique syntax where you put the function and then the arguments right after it. Long story short, Lisp helps you write very clean, concise, functional programs that allows you to build kind of a great mental model of how functions are supposed to work in a clean way. You also learn about things like streams and state versus stateless, as well as eval and apply, which is how all programs are run with an interpreter. Some other things you'll master in this book are recursion, building a ton of different data structures out of primitive elements, and so on. Again, if you pick up this book too early, it's definitely going to scare you away from programming, because it is really, really hard, but there are a lot of problems in the book and solutions online that you can work your way through once you do get that first job. like I said, I think that's the best time to do it. So guys, out of all my probably close to 100 programming resources I've tried in being a self-taught developer, those are my top 3, and I would definitely recommend checking all 3 of them out at some point in your career. They're also nicely spaced out, so Harvard CS50 you can do at the beginning. When you feel like you're ready for a job, read the article, and then once you're ready to become a programming master, or I guess professional programmer you could say, definitely give SICP, Structured Interpretation of Computer Programs, a try, because working your way through that will definitely put you in the next level. All right, that's all I got for today, guys. Hope that wasn't too much of a ramble. I just wanted to point out these 3 and then hopefully sell you on them a little bit. But yeah, that's all I got for today. Coming at you soon with more videos. Later.